I encourage my entire staff to go for the RACs. If they're focused on Europe, then I encourage the European RAC. Focused on the US RAC. For the managers, I encourage both, just so they understand the US and the European market. Same with Canada. Japan has not the RACs, but they have the books that will enable you to understand more. So I absolutely think that for beginning professionals up to managers, I think it's outstanding.
I think the first reason I took it was to validate my own decision making, to be in regulatory. I've always been a consultant, and I've had my RAC for a number of years, and this was a way to test my knowledge and then add credibility to what I was offering to my clients. The RAC has always provided a level of credibility, I think, to my consulting business throughout the years. It does give you an identity with new customers. It's something that they look at first. Oh, you've got the RAC, that's great. Now we can talk.
Hello, my name's Ruston and I run Priory Analysts. It's consulting in the UK. We consult in medical devices. I've been involved with the RAC and RACB for some 14 years. I proposed to RAPS some time ago now that an EU exam would be useful in promoting the profession in the EU, and I ended up being the chair of that committee for some 4 years. Then I moved to the RACB and I chaired the RACB for the same amount of time. It was a great experience for me, and really amazing to see how many people came through, and the commitment of those on the committee who ran the exam.
I obtained the first one in 1994, and that was the US RAC. And then I followed that up in 2000 with the EU RAC. And with that credentials, it really pushed forward my career. I got a big promotion at work, for one. And then they felt that, because of the certification, my knowledge was broad enough that they gave me other opportunities in the company. So I think it's a very good credential to have. Quite difficult to obtain. You just need to do a lot of studying, and then be sure you never...
The RAC credential for me was a demonstration that certainly that I'm qualified to do what I do, that I continue my professional education enough to maintain that credential, and it's a representation that we are the experts in this area. It's one representation, and probably the only representation, that shows that we are truly regulatory professionals in this area and knowledgeable about the things that we're working in, that we not only know where to find answers, but we know what to do with the answers when we find them. I can perhaps think of only one other organization that's actually non-regulatory, it's more clinical, that would give me the same kinds of experience. RAPS is a very member-oriented organization. It provides us with a scope that is narrow enough to be valuable for us, but broad enough to cover most of the areas that we need knowledge in, and they're also open to member input that they need to expand their horizons and look at other areas in the regulatory profession, and RAPS is always willing to look at that and expand the scope, for example, that they present at conferences like this one.
My name is Salma Michor. I'm a consultant. I have my own consulting company in Vienna, Austria. I am EU RAC certified. I took the RAC certification because at that point I was at mid-level, or at the middle of my career, and I wanted to have something which would distinguish me as opposed to other regulatory affairs professionals. I did the exam. It was quite difficult for me at that time. I was very happy with the results. And since then, I'm a very strong advocate of the EU RAC certification, and I try to promote that in the EU.
Yeah, I think the RAC is very beneficial to the regulatory profession in a whole, it adds a lot of credibility, and it gives you a wide variety and covers a lot of different aspects of the regulatory affairs profession.